Nowhere to hide. Got lucky that time. Hey! With a downpour, nothing will get done until it clears. Let this be a lesson to those who yesterday said I'll do— Shake it, and—
Verdict is...
Don't blink! Cut to the chase! Nowhere to hide.
Retribution!
Speed of light! With sword comes shadow. Incoming! Speed of light! Hey! Nowhere to hide! Add Thank you for Add Astra.
I still have a lot to do at the guild. How about you take a rest while I go back?
Hunt them down!
Guess we can rest a bit.
A duel is a battle of wills, and the sword an extension of the duelist's spirit. If your heart recoils in fear, then...
Can't see?
From the speed of...
Verdictors?
Yeah! Hey there! Coming at ya! Proper send-up! From the speed of whistle.
I hear everything!
Coming at
And
ya!
Shroud! Can't see?
Verdictors?
Nip that in the butt. One with the force.
Hey there!
And Shroud!
You should really bring the Knights of Favonius with you next time.
Work hard and live each day to the fullest. That is what life in Mondstadt is all about, isn't it?
I still have a lot to do at the guild. How about you take a rest while I go back?
Get them!
Retribution! Verdict is...
Coming at ya! Yeah. Attack! That's the way. You can't run. Booba, get on! Watch out!
Burn!
Into a fire! Now watch out! Punishment! Booba, get them! Judgment!
This?
Shiver! Coming at you!
For
You're toast!
retribution!
Kiss you! You can't run! Booba, get them! Judgment!
Verdict is...
Hey there! Hiya! Attack! You can't run! Now watch out!
Retribution!
Judgment! Get them! This one's got your name on it! Watch out!
Retribution!
Watch out! Think you can bully me? Don't blink! Cut to the chase! Speed of light! Nowhere to hide. Don't blink. Incoming. Speed of light. Cut to the chase. Incoming! Don't blink! With sword comes shadow. Speed of light! Let's go! Yeah! Can't keep my eyes open. Nowhere to hide. Incoming. Speed of light. Cut to the chase. Hey! Incoming. Shake it and don't blink. Nowhere to hide. Incoming. Don't blink. Keep it pulling. Speed of light. Cut to the chase. Incoming. Scratch. Speed of light.
Terra Smash!
Incoming.
Yeah!
Shake it and stir. Don't blink. Nowhere to hide. Speed of light. Hey! Don't blink. Cut to the chase. Speed of light. Keep it pulling.
Terra Smash! To dust!
Hey! Don't blink. Nowhere to hide. Incoming. Speed of light. Don't blink! Cut to the chase! Sketch! Speed of light! Incoming! Hey! Don't blink!
Terra Smash!
Fry!
Verdict is...
Nowhere to hide. Speed of light. Hey!
You're open!
Don't blink!
Children, come. You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you.
Oh, what is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh, no. You've done so much for Liyue Harbor already. I could hardly ask for more. In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give you in return.
A gift? For Paimon?
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even. But you mustn't decline this gift. I simply won't allow it. When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds. That simply won't do. Especially since I imagine you still have a very long journey ahead of you. Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation abilities atrophy. Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, It is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis, part of our illumination, if you will. I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous pocket world. The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created using that ability.
So, in the eyes of an Adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just child's play, huh?
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis, on the other hand, moved mountains and seas. That is what one might call an exercise of true power. But that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared for you just requires a few final materials to add the finish.
That's right! Finding stuff's what we're good at, after all.
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither and thither. I have already found a fleet-footed youngster to prepare what I need. What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am searching for. Some of them are very rare indeed these days. Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh. Back in the day, it could only be found where the glazed lilies thrived most profusely. You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glazed lilies, and if you were lucky enough, you just might find a small patch of shimmer soil there. But almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since Dihua Marsh came to be the way it is today. Even more difficult to find is smaragdus jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all but completely bare of it. In any case, smaragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the adeptal power within is not something that most humans can withstand. Extended contact with it is, in fact, harmful to humans. Goodness knows if that child will succeed in finding these items.
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny, the person you asked for help, they must be an Adeptus too, right?
Yes. I suppose she does count as an Adeptus.
She counts? How come there are so many Adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all the time. It feels like even when you go out to eat, you could be sitting next to an Adeptus and never even know it.
Oh, maybe so. Who can say? A fair few of my old friends are rather fond of mundane mortal life, after all.
I'm back, Granny. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yen Fei. She's the one helping run some errands for me. Yen Fei, I believe you already heard of the traveler and his traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and made contact with the Fatui. Before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chiseng. What a shame. A shame that we didn't meet sooner. If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less, embarrassing for you. Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yenfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me. Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. Keep it handy. If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
All right, Yenfei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. I do not think these two are in any dire need of legal assistance at the moment. You'll have to excuse Yenfei. She's always been like this, ever the talkative one when it comes to her own affairs.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before.
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect Liyue Harbor and all that stuff? What do you mean he just went back to get married?
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for Smaragdus Jadeite. I couldn't find any at all.
Is that so? But Smaragdus Jadeite is really rather essential. Yenfei, are you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped Liyue greatly, after all. It is only right that they are duly rewarded.
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still a chance we can figure out some alternative means of procurement. Hold on a moment. Let me have a look.
Whoa, that's a really thick book. What kind of things do you write in there?
Commercial consultancy. Or Snezhnaya. Ah, found him. Krusel. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. If my memory serves, all of them had to do with rare ores. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus Jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite, or might have an idea of where we can find some. Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only risk placing yourself in legal jeopardy.
Wow, an Adeptus imploring us to avoid incurring legal liability. Well, that's a first for sure. Best we be a little more careful than usual while we're with her.
Hello, Mr. Crossell. How's business been?
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, in the end, I did acquire a small piece of smaragdus jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize. I've already rented them out to a lady named Zhi. If you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
Wait, isn't smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Zhi before renting them to her. The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss Zhi in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
In that case, might you know where Miss Zhi lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on your map for you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell. We'll be off now.
Oh, whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
How do you do, Miss Zhi? We understand from Mr. Crossell that you pins from him. My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins? I can't lend them to you right now. I've lost them. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such short notice. My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle and discuss prices. That's what the hairpins were for, to keep up appearances. I can't have them looking down on me. But now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Miss Zhi, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed?
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here. Here you are.
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she can help Juqiao somehow. True. Though surely there must be a win-win solution.
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Juqiao looks like she's about to faint.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so how exactly would we be able to find out if the jadeite is genuine or not? Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the jadeite is genuine, would there?
Seems right.
Please. Please, Don't trouble yourselves over this. The fact is, I lost the item, and I should pay compensation per the contract. However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital that we keep our word and respect our contracts. Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossell in the dark any longer. I'll go and inform him of the issue, and then negotiate the amount of compensation.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that, I have some questions about the hairpins. So hold on a moment, Mr. Chow. When you first touched the hairpins, what did you feel?
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstones set into the pins were perfectly smooth to the touch, like the finest quality jade. My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so I am quite certain of my judgment in this matter.
Smooth to the touch. Finest quality jade. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things. Let's head over to Mr. Crossell's.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Juqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
About that.
You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
I'm sorry. Truly I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract. Every last mora.
Mora? Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smaragdus Jadeite? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes, and if I may just confirm again, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus Jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course! Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Crossell.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss with you. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
Miss Yunfei, what is this about? Are you here to tell me how much I owe?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the Orin laid on those hairpins may not be Smaragdus Jadeite after all.
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus Jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your possession?
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slightest bit unwell. I didn't feel anything special at all, in fact.
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossel's vicinity. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus Jadeite in his possession.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam right to his face!
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. Eventually, he would find some argument to compel us to leave. And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus Jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with you in due course.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me, Miss Yunfei.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, could I ask you to please sign this contract?
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even keep track. It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain someone else we know.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any further, I require a written contract. Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be glad to place this matter into your capable hands if you will take it, Miss Yunfei.
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and then sign on this page as well. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint over here.
This contract has so many pages. Paimon's all out of brain juice again.
Alright, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
I've had a read through. Everything checks out.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve, once we've got some things squared away. I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case, hopefully this should be quite the experience.
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask, why are you helping me?
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geoenergy around Mr. Crossell, so perhaps he has, in fact, secured some. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter, but either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... where can we find someone who processes ore? Ah, I've got it. Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He's a professional when it comes to working with stone and ore. If Mr. Crossell had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
Honored customers, welcome to oh, it's you, Miss Yanfei. Is something the matter? Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win? Oh, I swear on all that is sacred.
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnine merchant named Crossell enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnine merchant named Crossell, you say? I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smaragdus jadeite. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later. They're right over there, in fact.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
I want a new toy.
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus nephrite shavings. Yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore, containing no elemental energy whatsoever.
Is that so? Well, we might as well give elemental sight a shot. So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao was able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards? That's pretty awesome.
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time. These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price. And, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But, never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossell...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
Try your luck betting on Jade?
Miss Yanfei? Might I be so bold as to inquire,
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossell did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact Smaragdus jadeite, did he not?
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite clearly, 1 chunk Smaragdus jadeite, uncut.
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and these stone shavings?
Of course. But might I ask why you need them?
Oh, I have my reasons. Yes. Please sign here on this affidavit. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, or that Mr. Crossell brought to your store. Please read it carefully.
Yes, I see. Forgive me for asking again. Might I know the nature of the incident on this occasion?
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir. I'll take these with me.
With this hard evidence to back us up, Crossell won't dare try to deny what he did!
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find something a little more compelling. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Nope. Aha! Got it! Sinxie. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith. Let's go pay her a visit.
Well, that was quick. How come you know so many people?
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, well, I should say laws, are very important to us. But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put this? It just seems like they're hard to understand and impossible to finish. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that it's hard to understand and impossible to finish?
Yes, well, that's no obstacle because I've memorized all the legal codices.
You memorized them?
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know? Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
Again, with that casual tone.
Well, that's that then. Let's go look for Singxi.
Oh, Miss Yanfei, it's you. Has something happened? Did the client from last time...
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. I'm just here to ask you a few questions. Has a merchant by the name of Crossel asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith recently?
Crossel? Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no? Yeah, he came to me with a chunk of something he called Smaragdus Jadeite. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly according to his specifications. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is why I remember it so well.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Singxi, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossel commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material he presented to you that day was called...
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Mr. Crossel wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on his behalf. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself, the item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the ministry on it.
Thank you, Singxi. Now, could you let me borrow this document?
Sure, it isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there's been some more trouble?
Nothing you need to worry about, just a minor issue. I'll return your document as soon as I'm done with it. Thanks again!
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble?
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip. Let's go to Boo Boo Pharmacy to speak with Dr. Baizhu.
The weirdo with the snake around his neck? What do you want to speak to him for?
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that Smaragdus Jadeite is harmful to the human body. Once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case up.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs. And if it isn't Miss Yanfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual medicines again, no doubt?
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smaragdus Jadeite.
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 Mountain Treatises. The 7 Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains, and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in personality, and their illness will only ever get worse. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yanfei, and given the specific nature of your question, I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smaragdus Jadeite?
That is indeed the case. If you would be so kind, Dr. Baiju.
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for Smaragdus Jadeite recently. A Snezhnayan merchant came to ask me about it not long ago. But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of remarkable disappointment. I wonder, Miss Yanfei, if your pressing business might be related to this Snezhnayan merchant?
You needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate you in due course.
You're too kind. Take care now.
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
Why'd they have to give me that transfer?
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation due.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss Yanfei?
Of course. According to the stipulations of the contract, Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus Jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, Smaragdus Nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow in Mora.
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, you cannot frame me like this. I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus Jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake? I demand to see your evidence.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, Please produce the evidence in question. This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner, Chateau.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between Smaragdus Jadeite and Smaragdus Nephrite. How does this prove anything? In any case, Smaragdus Nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus Jadeite. So I had him cut away the Nephrite, he returned the valuable Jadeite core to me, and some Nephrite samples remain in the store. What am I missing exactly?
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are here to talk about evidence, aren't we?
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all. Seems like he came prepared. What should we do next?
Hard evidence, something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler. Oh, come on. I meant the backup copy of the document from the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the ore inlaid on the pins is indeed Smaragdus Jadeite.
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either. And this guy's getting more belligerent by the second.
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hairpins are the real deal after all.
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown supports my story.
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't revealed yet. Traveler, would you do the honors?
What's this?
Smaragdus Jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smaragdus Jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in serious cases, the patient may suffer a dramatic change of personality and fall seriously ill. Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of Smaragdus Jadeite?
I had no idea.
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item, I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you posed. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait! I knew.
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear, Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of Smaragdus Jadeite's dangerous properties beforehand, why would you...
Huh? No, The hairpins aren't actually
inlaid with genuine Smaragdus Jadeite? Is that what you were about to say? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Ms. Zerchow 10 times the original price in Mora? Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting.
He's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different person.
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was Smaragdus Nephrite. But I'm a victim in all of this too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of Smaragdus Jadeite in the hopes of turning it into a piece of jewelry that would fetch a fine price. But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a wink or eat a single bite. I was in a constant state of agitation, too. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let all that money go to waste? That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus Nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable from Smaragdus Jadeite. I kept the real Smaragdus Jadeite in a specially made box. I daren't touch it again. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Zhiqiao lost the hairpins after I rented them out to her.
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay so much?
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus Jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how much I could make off it. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then my days in this line of business would be over.
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora, and that is final.
10 times?
Crosel looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus Jadeite!
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me that much, Mora. Even if the Smaragdus Jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think I owe some compensation for that.
Ms. Jichao, you...
However, Mr. Crosel, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus Jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead? I'll consider us even.
What? But all right, then. This cursed rock's brought me enough grief as it is.
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn the Smaragdus Jadeite over to you. I trust that it will suffice as remuneration?
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go. But whatever. It'll do.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and express my thanks more appropriately.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this again, Mr. Chow, have you and Mr. Crosel come to an understanding?
Well, yes, I believe we have.
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crosel, it seems that my client has no further claims against you.
Is that so? That's good. That's good.
Actually, Mr. Crosel, I'd like to talk business for a second, if I may. I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have a fair stock of fine ores. If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think we could do some fine business between us.
Let me think for a moment.
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smaragdus Jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well, eh?
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over the place for it. But even though the solution didn't involve actually finding the hairpins.
The right solution depends on your perspective on the problem. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, proving that the rented item was nowhere near worth what the vendor had claimed it to be was the more efficient solution. An Adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? In which case, you would have heard what Granny said. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy far more than it needs adeptal powers?
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit. I bet she's been on tenterhooks for a while now.
returned. How did it go? Were you able to find the Smaragdus jadeite? Good, good. Then we have all the materials we need.
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of clients waiting for me back at the office.
Oh, you. All right, then. Go see to your business. Granny should be able to handle the rest.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card I gave you. I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly. Regulars get discounts too.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me clean my teapot, hmm?
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father was hardly so riotous or fond of talking nonsense back in the day when he stood beside Rex Lapis. Indeed she is. Liyue has changed, and the Adepti must also learn to change. Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most intimately acquainted with the city among us all. Liyue is not the same place I once knew. All right, then. Let us speak of this no more. Back on topic. I believe that I still owe you a little gift.
Oh, Paimon's so excited! How is it made?
It is but a single teapot. It shan't take long at all. Just wait here for a moment. There we go. This Serenity pot is all yours now. Hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, oh goodness, who knows what might happen. Take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them if you wish to make your teapot a little more lively inside.
Wait a minute, Granny! How exactly are we supposed to use this teapot?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged for a certain little helper to await you within this teapot. She will explain everything you need to know about it.
Wow! This teapot seems even bigger inside than Madame Ping's! There's even a great big house in the middle, too! Huh. But there's just a whole load of nothing around it. Hey! There's a perfectly good house right over there! Why should Paimon have to live in a hole in the ground? Still, why is it so empty here apart from that house? Oh, wait a second. What is that?
Well, it seems that we have a visitor. Oh!
Ah! It's Cubby! From a distance, Paimon thought it was just a huge finch. So you're the little helper Madame Ping mentioned?
Madame Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. Yes, she did summon me here. She told me much about you. You know, back when we met in the Mondstadt Tavern, I had a feeling that we would meet again. It seems I was right, but it's still a nice surprise to meet you here. You may leave all matters regarding the upkeep of this realm to me. Your journey may be far from over, but at least this way you will not want for a comfortable place to sleep each night. Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do not have the time of day to attend to the banal matter of their maintenance. Thus, we teapot spirits were created to help guard their realms and manage their affairs. You may consider me a butler, if you will. Now, allow me to explain this realm to you. Have you any blueprints on you? Specifically, blueprints with beautiful rooms, chairs, and the like. As long as you have a blueprint, you can refashion this realm however you please.
Blueprints? Oh, that's right! Granny handed us some when she gave us the teapot, didn't she? Let's take them out and have a look.
Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking about. Go on. Oh, just commit the image of the objects to memory and prepare the necessary materials. Then simply release the thought from your mind and the object in the blueprint shall appear within this teapot.
Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained this to me at some point in the past. He said that even though subspace creation is a product of adeptal power, even that has its limits. This world is not a true one, after all. It provides merely a moment of brief respite from the mortal realm, not a means of escaping it entirely.
A golden-eyed adeptus? Paimon wonders who could that be?
I hardly remember myself. What's more, I have never seen that adeptus again since. Well, let's not dwell on that. Have a look around. Best you get accustomed to this realm. If there's anything you would like to ask, just look for me. Maybe you're... If you ever... Maybe you're not... If you ever...
We're looking for the Great Muchina Yokai!
Do you know where it lives?
Great Muchina Yokai? What's that? Huh? You've never heard of it? It's a sneaky monster that goes around playing tricks on people. It's got magic powers and can even shapeshift into anything it wants. One time, the Great Muchina Yokai stole some rice from our house. And this other time, it pushed my dad into the river. Sounds like a very naughty little monster.
'Cause we finally found out how to chase it away.
My dad said that the Great Muchina Yokai likes to play tricks on people who stay out all the time and don't come home when they're supposed to. So all we need to do is chase it away. Then we can come out and play whenever we want. This monster sounds scary, though. Aren't you guys afraid? Surely your parents must be worried about you. Oh, not really. I told my dad that I was gonna find the Great Muchina Yokai with some friends, and he didn't even say anything. So we think it must be weak right now. It's probably hiding away so it can rest.
Yeah, so as long as we get home before it gets its strength back, we'll be safe.
Something sounds very strange about all this, but Paimon can't say exactly what it is. Yeah, Paimon Great Mujina Yokai is one of those storybook monsters that doesn't exist in the real world. We should tell them so they don't waste all their time looking for it. Oh, children, listen up. There's no need to go looking for the Great Mujina Yokai, alright? Because it isn't real.
Huh?
No way.
That's impossible! My dad wouldn't lie to me.
Your folks are just worried about you is all. They don't want you wandering too far from home because it's too dangerous.
That's not true. The Great Mujina Yokai is definitely real. Yeah! Yoimiya's even making some weapons for us. And then she's gonna show us how to blow it up!
Yoimiya, huh? Wait, as in fireworks prison break, Yoimiya?
We told her all about the Great Mujina Yokai. She said we shouldn't be scared of it. We should learn how to chase it away instead.
We've been waiting for ages now. And finally, Yoimiya said that today's the day! Yoimiya plays with us and tells us stories all the time. She wouldn't tell a lie.
But...
Come on, let's get out of here and go find Yoimiya.
Wait, hold on, don't go! They didn't seem to take that very well. But Paimon was only trying to look out for them. Who knows what Yoimiya's got to do with this? Let's follow the kids and see what's going on.
Cheer up, guys. Don't be so down. She was only joking back there. How could the Great Mujina Yokai not exist, huh?
But we've never seen it for ourselves.
That's because the Great Mujina Yokai is extra powerful. And that's exactly why I need your help, isn't it? It's okay. Don't be discouraged. Hey, remember, if you want to be a hero, you gotta have patience. And wisdom, too. Even if you can't find it right now, it'll definitely show up before the fireworks show starts. So, remember to come and pick up your weapons from me before then, okay? No matter how powerful the Great Mujina Yokai might be, it's no match for my specially made fireworks. Just light them up and you'll scare it off no problem. It's up to you guys to protect your homes, your crops, and your folks.
Got it. Thanks, Miss Yoimiya. We'll try and be more patient.
Oh, yeah. Hold up a sec. I have a few slips of paper for you guys. One each. Remember to give it to your parents and tell them to keep it safe. Just tell them it's from Yoimiya. They'll know what it's about.
Okay. Thank you, Yoimiya. We're gonna go back now.
Oh, thanks, Yoimiya. Come play with us soon. Sure thing. Will do. Take care on the way back, and I'll see you later. So it was you guys. I guessed as much from the way the kids described you. No worries, though. I'm not blaming you. The Great Mujina Yokai is pretty popular with the kids, so of course they're gonna get upset if someone tries to tell them it doesn't exist.
Okay, but it definitely doesn't exist, right?
Yeah, the first time I heard about it, I knew straight away that was probably something the parents had come up with to stop the kids from running off all the time. But when the kids asked me about it, I didn't want to break it to them. I just told them that it looks cute and likes to play pranks and doesn't hurt people. So, I guess now the kids' impression of the Great Mujina Yokai is mostly influenced by me.
Huh. So in a way, this monster is all a product of your creativity?
Maybe so. In any case, I'm not gonna be the one who exposes it. Sure, it's likely that the parents just wanted to stop the kids from staying out all the time, but they could have easily had other reasons too. If I just go ahead and tell them that the Great Mujina Yokai doesn't exist without knowing the full story, then who knows? I might be doing more harm than good. Besides, they're just kids. They should be allowed to believe it if it makes them happy. That's more important to them than questioning what's real and what isn't. Heck, I entertain my fair share of fantasies too. The fire diamond that spins around and shoots out lights that are all the colors of the rainbow. Ooh, the mist spirits that live far off in the mountains and guide you to fairyland if you can find them. I know that they don't really exist, but I still enjoy believing in them. If someone came up to me and started telling me to stop being so stupid, they don't exist, I'd give them the evil eyes and tell them to get the heck out of my face because it's just so annoying. Because maybe it doesn't matter so much if something's real or not. Maybe magic and awesomeness are what makes something worth believing. Why should someone else get to take that away from you? The things we believed and the experiences we had when we were young turn into our priceless treasures as we grow up. When you were kids, surely you guys believed in things like heroes who slew dragons and sacred swords that cut through darkness. It's the same thing. If we tear apart these kids' fairy tales now, what else do we have to tell them? That Inazuma's locked down? All the grim tales of the Vision Hunt Decree? I think it's a bit too early for all of that.
Yeah! Oh, way too early. For sure.
Whether you understood me or not, don't you worry. I'll take care of the kids and make sure they stay safe. Okay, it's about time I headed back. The Naganohara fireworks show is just around the corner, and there's still a lot of things to get ready.
Naganohara fireworks show? Is that hosted by your family or something?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why our name is on the event. It's well known throughout Inazuma. Oh, on the subject, are you busy these days? If not, then you should totally come along. I'll prepare an extra pretty firework just for you. In that case, come with me to Naganohara. We'll go see my bots. There's still a few fireworks to finish off before the show. Inazuma is home to the Yai Publishing House, and a lot of people who like to write stories too. In fact, most of what they write is based off of the kinds of fairy tales I was just talking about. A lot of them have bad endings, though. Like, the fire diamond will get put in a rich person's gallery where it will never be ignited again. Or, someone will see the mist spirit and not manage to catch it, but because they angered it, it'll never show itself again. The hero who slays the dragon becomes the next dragon. The sacred sword that once fought the darkness now becomes a doomsday weapon. I know these kinds of stories are all the rage nowadays, but I really can't bring myself to like them. If something's magical, it should be kept that way. I'm back!
The fireworks show is almost upon us, and the fireworks for each family are almost ready. Oh, new faces? Who are these two? Friends or customers?
A bit of both, actually. They arrived in Inazuma just recently. Can't let them miss out on a fireworks show after coming all this way, can we?
Well, either way, come on in and have a seat. And I, Naganohara Ryunosuke, will tell you all about the long history of the Naganoharas.
That can wait. Pops, I need to ask you about something.
A long, long time ago.
Pops has started telling his stories again. Sorry about this. Ever since Pops had his accident, his ears don't work too well.
Really? But for a moment there, it almost seemed like you were having a coherent conversation.
Much, much later, people eventually realized that if you grind certain materials into dust, they burn with many beautiful colors.
Pops, wait!
Huh? What's that?
Did they deliver those firework materials that we ordered yet?
Oh! Yesterday's fireworks have all been delivered. So have the ones from the day before yesterday. And the ones from the day before that.
No, Pops, I meant the materials. The materials that we ordered. They should have arrived today.
Ah, today's fireworks are almost ready too. Don't you worry. Your old man's skills are still as sharp as ever.
No, Pops, the materials. The raw materials for making fireworks.
Sorry?
Materials!
Oh, the materials!
Yes, the materials! Sorry, Paimon got all excited because he finally got the message across.
The materials aren't here yet. The couriers did come over to explain why, but, well, I think they did, but I couldn't quite hear what they were saying.
No worries. As long as we know, that's fine. We can just make them later. Don't forget to take the goods in when they deliver them. Okay, Pops?
Of course. Leave it to me.
Oh, sorry if we were a little loud. It's always the way, though. It's like that every time I need to ask Pop something. I get told that a lot. Because my Pops is deaf, he never argues with anyone and never contradicts them. He just listens cheerfully. When I was little, I thought it was because he really understood me and agreed with whatever I had to say. So I told my Pops everything. Eventually, I realized that the reason he was like that was that he's deaf. But I still tell him stories every day.
Huh? Why would you do that?
It just makes me happy to see him smile, and it keeps him from being lonely, right? Anyway, more importantly right now, the fireworks show is right around the corner and the materials still haven't arrived. We need to think of an alternative.
Yoimiya? Is that you?
Ah! Oh, you scared me there! I thought I told you to be more careful before you speak.
Sorry.
Hold on, I'm coming over. No one's looking. Okay, you can come out now. Come around the side. We're lucky that no one from the Tenryo Commission was around. Otherwise, we'd all be in big trouble.
Sorry, I guess I was a little rash, but when I heard you come back, I just...
Don't worry, Sakujiro. So far, at least, everything is going according to plan. We're going to look for firework materials shortly. While we're out, we'll sort out the boat situation for you, as promised.
Thank you for all your help.
He's one of our old customers. He came back to Inazuma from the outside world not long ago. While he was smuggling himself in, the Tenryo Commission found him and put out a warrant for his arrest.
An arrest warrant?
Shh! Keep it down! We don't want to draw any unwanted attention. If Sakujiro was caught, there's no knowing what crimes they could charge him with. All we can do is find him a boat and send him out of Inazuma again. Yeah, we know it's going to be dangerous, but there aren't many other options left.
What if the boat capsizes? Drowning is really scary. If things are this bad, couldn't you have just not come back in the first place?
Well, there's something I felt I had to do. But as soon as I got back, I started hearing about all these unbelievable changes. I had made my mind up originally, but now I'm not sure anymore. I didn't want to cause any trouble for Yoimiya or Mr. Ryunosuke, but I'm very grateful to them for taking me in.
Hey, no worries. You're more than welcome. Remember what I said? As long as you've got that little piece of paper, you'll always be a valued customer of the Naganohara's.
Little piece of paper?
Yep, the same paper slips as the one I gave to the kids earlier. Whenever a customer orders fireworks for a commemorative event, we always include a little paper slip with the goods. Only people from inside my family can understand what's written on it. It's the recipe for the fireworks they ordered. If someone shows a Naganohara that paper slip, we guarantee we can make the exact same firework as the original one they purchased, whether it's 10 or even 100 years later.
Wow, that is so awesome!
It's a family tradition. All our regular customers know about this.
The slip I have is from back when my parents ordered fireworks from Mr. Ryunosuke. Now that I think about it, it must be nearly 20 years ago. I would have thought that things would turn out the way they have.
It'll be fine. Escaping in a boat is just a last resort for if there's no other way. I'll still try and come up with a different solution, because it'd be much better if you could stay in Inazuma. Whatever their reasons might be, if our customers come to us looking for help, we're not about to leave them high and dry.
Thank you. This way, I still have some time to consider my options.
Alright, well, let's not stay out here in the open for too long. Hurry up and get back inside. I'll let you know as soon as I have an update for you.
Alright, I'll leave it to you then, I guess.
It's a shame. They still wouldn't give him a permit, even though he was born and raised in Inazuma. Speaking of, you guys only got here recently. How did you manage to get a permit?
Even then, we only got through thanks to some help from Miss Hiragi Chisato of the Kanjo Commission.
I see. So you had big shots helping you. I guess that won't be of much help to Sakujiro. I just wish the commissions could be a little bit more flexible. I bet nowhere else you've been is quite like Inazuma, huh? Well, no matter what, I have to find a way to help him. I'm sorry. I invited you to come watch the fireworks, but now I have to run a few errands. You don't have to join me if you don't want to. I can go sort out the firework materials in the boat by myself, and then you can come meet me back at the house later. Oh, cool! Then let's start with Sakujiro's boat. We can chat along the way. Oh yeah! If it's fine with you, can I ask how you two first met?
He saved me from drowning this one time, and after that, we started traveling together. Why do you ask?
Nothing. I'm just quite envious of your relationship. If my pops had a person like you around, his being deaf wouldn't hold things up all the time. Why do you look so excited?
Because you said person and not floating child or mascot.
Perhaps this is karma.
Koichi, I'm here! How is the boat coming along?
Yeah, it's, all right, I guess. I was questioned, though. Wait, should we really be talking about this in front of them?
Oh, don't worry, they're my friends. You can trust them. They came with me to check up on the boat.
Yeah, you could say we're all in the same boat here.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I didn't mean to doubt you. I'm just being cautious. The boat is ready, but I'll have to be discreet moving it here.
Huh? Why is that?
Because of the Sokoku decree, the Tenryo Commission is really suspicious of any kind of seaborne vessel. Even the smallest ones, they'll stop and interrogate us, demanding to know what we plan on doing with it. It's a real nuisance.
I understand. I'm sorry for dragging you into this mess.
Don't be silly. I'm actually happy you came to me for help. I've always come to you for fireworks, and again this time, so just consider this my way of saying thank you. Right, I'll go fetch the boat now. I should be back shortly.
Thank you. Oh, if it's on the way, you can always pick up your fireworks from my house. Everything was made in strict accordance with what was on the paper slip. You won't find the slightest thing wrong with them.
All right, then. The fireworks show will be starting soon, won't it? You should make sure your new friends get to see it. It's an Inazuma tradition after all.
Yep, that's the plan. Oh, you know what? You should tell them about your past. About the first time you ordered fireworks for my family.
That's a long story, actually. Where do I start? Maybe I'll come back to that after moving the boat here.
Oh, right, yeah. Got caught up in the conversation there.
Okay, well, I'll leave you to it for now and meet you back here later.
Lucky you reminded me. Otherwise, I would have ended up chatting the rest of the day away. I've been so busy with the fireworks business these past few days that I haven't had a moment to stop and chat with anyone. It's killing me. Of course, Pops is happy to listen to me chatter away, but because he can hardly hear anything, it's difficult to get an interesting reaction from him. And I'm doing it again, aren't I? What I meant to say was, while Koichi is bringing the boat here, we should try to find some firework materials. I need to make fireworks not just for you guys, but for those kids and Sakajiro as well. We're missing a lot of materials. It'll be fine. It's actually like this every year. There's always a bunch of extra orders to slot in here and there. When people want fireworks, it's always because they have something to commemorate. And if they miss the chance, they might never get another one. So, no matter how busy I am, I'm always happy to take their orders.
So, what you're trying to say is that you enjoy the work?
Oh, I do! I really do! Being born into a family of fireworks makers, I feel like since I was a kid, I've been obsessed with watching things go boom! And then seeing all the lights and colors and... What I really wanted to say was, don't worry about me. It'll all be fine. Sorry. It's just that good conversation can be as fleeting as fireworks sometimes, you know? So, when I'm in the mood and I've got a lot to say, I just have to get all out there in one go and leave no regrets. Let's head to the city. I think I'll try my luck with some people that I know.
Question! Doesn't it hurt your voice talking all the time?
It can get uncomfortable, I guess, but what else would I be using my voice for?
Huh, you kinda have a point.
Ah, here we are. Hello, Morihiko. How's business these days?
Yoimiya, there you are. I thought you might show up. Ha, no need to beat around the bush. You're here for the fireworks materials, I assume. I put a batch aside just for you. It'll definitely be enough.
Huh? Really? How did you know?
Because a fireworks show is coming up. And that usually means you'll be running all over the place trying to get your hands on some last-minute materials. I've come to expect it now. There's always a few extras unaccounted for, eh?
Oh, I'm so sorry for bothering you every time.
Ah, come on now. You know I didn't mean it like that. I'd sooner have my business go under than turn down one of your requests. What about you two? Are you the ones needing some fireworks made? It's no trouble at all, my friend. Once when I had an argument with my son, Yoimiya was the one who came and calmed him down. I'm hopeless at communicating with him. If it wasn't for Yoimiya, who knows, he probably would have run away by now.
Nah, he was never gonna come to that. He's a sensitive kid and he cares a lot about your feelings. It's just, he doesn't know how to express it. Maybe if you turn that frown upside down once in a while, he might feel more at ease.
Yeah, I guess I'm probably too serious around him. Which is strange, because I don't think I'm anything like that when I'm talking with other people.
Don't worry about it. No one's perfect. If you have any more trouble in the future, just come to me. Even if it's not fireworks related, I'll happily oblige. Customers come first. Always.
All right then. Everyone's always saying what a good kid you are. Your father must be very proud of you. Go ahead and take the ore, by the way. It's on the house.
Oh, no you don't! That's out of the question!
Don't worry. Just take it as a token of my gratitude.
Gratitude won't pay your bills, though. Don't do this to me. Can't we just play by normal business rules here?
I already said it's fine. Please, just take it. Surely you've got a load of other things you need to get done today.
Well, how about this then? I'll record this in my notebook, and we can consider it a down payment against any fireworks you want to purchase in the future.
There's no convincing you, is there? All right then, if you insist. Pass on my regards to your dad. Tell him Morihiko wishes him health and happiness.
Will do. You look after yourself as well. Don't push yourself too hard. You don't want to make yourself ill again.
Everyone seems to really like you, Yoimiya.
Well, for one thing, if you want to commemorate something, naturally you're gonna want something loud, bright, and beautiful. But I think more importantly than that, everyone trusts us. If it wasn't for our customers, we wouldn't be able to stay in business. Anyway, we've gotten all the materials we need now, so that solves that problem. Next, we just need to go find someone to process them.
Everything's going smoothly, just as I planned. Welcome to Bantan Sangha Direct Payments. What we have.
Hajime! Mr. Aminoma, it's me!
Ah, Yoimiya. If I'm not mistaken, you must be here for some firework materials.
Seems like everyone knows how busy Yoimiya gets leading up to the fireworks show.
I'm very sorry. Would you be able to wait for a while? I have quite a backlog of weapons orders right now.
No worry. Oh, wait, actually, yeah, that could be a problem. Some worries. How about this? Do you need a hand? As long as we can get through your orders, you can help me process my ore, right?
That will depend on my master.
Oh, you don't mind, do you, Mr. Aminoma? As you know, it's not long now until the Naganohara fireworks show starts. There's still a lot of fireworks left to make, if I don't finish them on time.
Talkative as ever, I see, dear child. The essence of Amenoma art is patience and focus. When the mind is disturbed, it will show in the blade that is forged. If you badger Hajime like this, you will only succeed in disrupting his concentration.
But this is a special circumstance, surely. The Naganohara fireworks show is right around the corner.
So give me your ore, and I will process it for you.
Huh? Master, you mean you'll do the work personally?
Is that so surprising? It is, after all, the only option.
Thank you for helping out, Mr. Aminoma.
You're quite welcome. The Naganohara fireworks show is an important event. This I know well. In addition to this, I am indebted to Ryunosuke for all the business he has given me. But Yoimiya, you should plan things more carefully in the future. Do not rush everything at the last minute.
I'll try my best. In the future, I'll get some extra materials in to cover any unexpected changes of plan late in the day.
Though for you, dear child, no matter how much you prepare in advance, it may never be enough. Excuse me. I will be back shortly.
Wow, Mr. Aminoma! Just look at the shape and size of these grains! It's beautiful! I'm at a loss for words. It's been a while since I've seen you take up your tools, but it looks like your craft hasn't degraded one bit.
Of course. I have studied these techniques my whole life. They are impossible for me to forget.
So, have Amenoma Art and Naganohara Fireworks been working together for a long time already?
Back in the day, it was my master, and Ryunosuke's father. The people may have changed from one generation to another, but the ingredients required to make fireworks have remained the same. Hajime, In the future, this will be up to you.
I know.
All right, I won't bother you guys any longer. Oh, remember to come and watch the fireworks. Okay, time to head off. Koichi probably isn't back just yet, but let's go wait for him. Just as I thought, he isn't back yet. But not to worry, because actually, I've been hoping for a chance to have a nice Sorry for dragging you with me everywhere. Everyone's been so good to me, though. It's all gone really smoothly.
Feels like Paimon has barely spoken a word this whole trip.
I felt like I was neglecting you guys, so I wanted to find an opportunity to catch up. When we first met, I was in a hurry. We didn't have the chance to sit down and have a proper chat. You guys are travelers, right? So, where else did you go before coming to Inazuma? I haven't been to Liyue before, but from what I've heard from Miss Beto, it sounds like a really interesting place. But something big happened there recently, right? Didn't their Archon leave all of a sudden?
Yeah, a lot of crazy things went down as a result. Luckily, everyone worked together to stave off a huge disaster that could have wiped out the whole city.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. I gotta say, it's pretty remarkable that the citizens managed to step up and keep things going even after their Archon left. I mean, I sure can't imagine Inazuma without the Shogun. My friend once said to me that only people with a strong will and a clear purpose decide to go traveling. Maybe it's to see a certain view or to fulfill a certain wish. So, what made you guys embark on your treacherous journey to Inazuma?
And to find a lost family member, too.
You were separated from your family because of a god? Oh. That must be really tough. I get it. Well, if that's how it is, then that's how it is. You know, I was going to ask if you guys wanted to stay here in Inazuma. Unlike the outside world, what Inazuma seeks is eternity. In other words, a state of tranquility where very little ever changes. The advantage of that is that if you're ever tired from your journey, Inazuma's a great place to come and rest. Let me put it this way. I was just worried that you might be getting weary. If you keep pressing on in that state, you might start to lose sight of the things that made you want to start your journey in the first place.
Sometimes. That's also just how it is.
When you're exhausted, everything becomes an uphill struggle. Even trying to have fun. You won't be able to enjoy yourself if you're too tired. An adventurer friend of mine once told me that if you're too focused on reaching the end of the race, you'll miss a lot of opportunities and precious moments to be had along the way. Don't worry, though. I'm sure I can think of some way to get you feeling relaxed and happy. And you're here now, so even if you're gonna leave eventually, I want to make sure you at least leave with fond memories. Who knows? Once you're reunited with your family, maybe you'll find Inazuma the right kind of place to call home. I already have an idea of the color and type of fireworks I want to give you guys. I'll keep it a secret for now, though.
Yoimiya, I'm back. Sorry to keep you waiting. Let's head over to the boat. Or, did you want to keep chatting a little longer? Okay, good. Let's go then. Just act naturally, though we don't want to raise any suspicion.
If it can withstand the storms out on the ocean, it must be super sturdy, right?
Absolutely. Rest assured that the quality is guaranteed.
That's way too small.
Can't be helped, I'm afraid. This is the biggest and sturdiest boat that I can provide. It's built from the finest Inazuman timber. Still, I'll be the first to admit that if he's planning to ride this into the storm, it's going to be exceedingly dangerous.
I'm also hoping Sakajiro won't have to use it. It's just there as a last resort. I gotta say though, Koichi, it feels like your craft has improved once again.
I'm not the one you should be praising. It's all thanks to the guys who kindly pitched in. To avoid detection, we each worked on our own materials separately, then assembled them secretly in the night. This is the largest we could afford to build. Any bigger and there's no way it would pass the Tenryou Commission's inspection.
Let's store the boat here for now then. I'll fill Sakajiro in when I get back. He'll need to make some preparations before setting sail.
Uh-oh. Paimon feels really worried all of a sudden. Doesn't helping Sakajiro make you a collaborator in the eyes of the Tenryou Commission?
Maybe it does, but I knew what I was getting into from the moment I agreed to help him. My family has pretty good connections with the Yashiro Commission. We work very closely with them, and whenever there's a national event of any sort, the other two commissions come to us too. As long as I'm polite and respectful and don't cause a fuss, they won't look to cause trouble for me either. And anyway, to your point about collaboration, you've been helping out too, right?
That's true. This was all a collaborative effort. Wait! Oh no!
Ah, so you're seasoned crooks already, eh? Don't know what I was worried about then. Anyway, thanks for everything, Koichi. And your fireworks are ready, so just go pick them up from my house whenever you want. While you're there, you can get my pops to settle the boat construction fees.
Oh, don't worry about paying anything. Third Sis would be sure to scold me if she found out I'd taken Mora from the Naganoharas.
Who's Third Sis?
Oh, let me explain this one. It's a story my pops told me. There used to be a thriving merchants guild in Inazuma. It got really prosperous. At one point, there were a dozen or so kids born around the same time to the families of the guild. They all grew up together, each of them learning their respective family's business. They were a tightly knit group of friends, but eventually, they all grew up and decided they each wanted to go into business themselves. It was inevitable that business would send them all to different corners of the world, and that they'd have far less opportunity to see each other in the future.
That's right. Just before we went our separate ways, the eldest of the group suggested that we should all go watch some fireworks together one last time.
They were all very ambitious types, and each had their own knack for doing business. One by one, they left, until Koichi was the only one of them remaining in Inazuma. After that, he hardly saw them. But whenever one of them did come back to visit, fireworks would always be involved.
Yeah, no matter how close you and your friends are, there's always going to be some distance after being separated for a long time. But as soon as the fireworks lit up the sky, it'd instantly take us right back to our childhood, and we'd be chatting away like in the old days. To us, those memories are eternal.
Oh, so this is what you meant when you were talking about commemorating things.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's why I can't let people down when they're counting on me for their fireworks. Anyway, I need to go update Sakujiro. See you, Koichi. Thanks again for your help.
Yeah, I should get out of here too. I don't want to get caught red-handed.
Okay, story time. So, whenever Koichi brings one of his friends from the trade association to see me, they always mention how they used to play with me when I was a kid or held me once as a baby or something. But there are so many of them in that friendship group, and I don't remember anything from that age anyway, so I never have a clue who they are. One time, he shows up with another one of his friends, and the friend asks me if I remembered him. So I'm like, yes, I do! You held me once when I was just a baby. Koichi just bursts out laughing and says, actually, this is one of his carpenter friends. Turns out he's a lot younger than he looks, just a few years older than me. I went bright red and must have apologized like a million times. It was so embarrassing. The boat is ready and waiting. I'll mark the location for you on the map. Before you leave, I recommend that you pack some food and water. You can never be too prepared.
After how much effort it took to get back in, it's hard to convince myself to leave again. Especially when I'll be going up against the stormy ocean on a tiny little boat. My prospects don't look great.
Well, they won't look much better if you get caught by the Tenryo Commission. I'm afraid that sooner or later they are going to find you here. Time is starting to run out.
I'm sorry. I'll make sure to get out of here before they come. I promise I won't cause you and your family any more trouble.
I didn't mean it like that. If we ever ran into any problems, I'm sure I'd figure something out. But if the Tenryo Commission does catch up to you, they make a run for the boat.
Okay, I won't let them catch me. But... no, I guess this whole trip was a waste in the end.
Why did you want to come back to Inazuma anyway? Is there something you wanted to do?
I didn't used to like this place at all. That's why I left. But looking back on things now, I was really just running away from my responsibilities. Once I started to realize that, I got restless. I couldn't stop thinking about the people and the things I'd left behind. So forget it. What does it matter now? It's too late anyway. I originally wanted to make up for all my regrets, but instead, I found myself in the situation I'm in now.
What a pity.
Talk to us about it. Maybe we could...
If only there was no Sakoku decree, huh? Anyway, don't worry. We're not going to bother you about it. We'll keep trying to buy you as much time as possible until you reach your final decision. The Tenryo Commission. If only they weren't so overzealous, there might be a way. Oh, that's right! That elderly couple, old customers of ours, their son's in the Tenryo Commission, isn't he? Yeah, quite high up as well. That's it. I'll go talk to them. Maybe they can do something.
Are you sure they won't just report me instead?
Oh, don't worry about that. They're really nice people. I know them well. They won't cause us any issues. All right, you should get back indoors, Sakujiro. We'll be back in no time at all. Okay, let's go. Time waits for no one. Wait, hang on. What about the fireworks? All those materials? Oh, there's so many orders to finish. Pops! Pops! No, never mind. I know. I'll write him a note telling him to sort out the fireworks.
Ahem! Why did you cut Paimon off earlier?
Because what he needs isn't an answer, just time.
Well, if it isn't Yoimiya. Come on in, dear. Come and take a seat. Are these two your friends?
Yes, they're travelers from afar. Outsiders have a very difficult time getting into Inazuma nowadays.
Indeed, these are unprecedented times. But seeing as they came all this way, we locals should give them a warm welcome.
Oh, before I forget, I brought the fireworks that you ordered.
Oh, thank you, dear. Your family is so good to us every year. First your father, and now you. I wonder if I'll still be around to see the next hair of Naganohara fireworks.
Of course you will. You're both in great health. Don't say things like that. It's bad luck.
We aren't as young as we once were, though. The body knows it. It used to be that I could spend all day working the land, carrying water back and forth. But now, even a moment of light work leaves me with all sorts of aches and pains. I wanted to do some weeding yesterday, but as soon as I bent down to get started, I suddenly felt that if I went any further, I wouldn't be able to get back up again.
No worries. Say no more. We'll handle it.
No. We can't be putting you to work when you're a guest in our home. I'll just go fetch the tea and some snacks, and then we'll continue our conversation.
It's fine. It's not like it's the first time I've helped you with chores. I just haven't had much time recently with the fireworks show coming up. But once that's out of the way, I'll be sure to come by more often.
It's no trouble, really. We don't mind helping.
Oh, you're such good kids. As for mine, he's all grown up now. Hasn't found anyone yet. And he doesn't visit very often. If you're quite sure it's no trouble, then I have some pickled radish here. Would you...
Sure. The old folks aren't very mobile, so come on, let's help them out. We'll get rid of the weeds first, and then deliver the pickled radish. Yeah, you got it! And that should just about do it. Satoru is on the other side of the village. Let's go see him now. Hey, Satoru! How have you been? Keeping well?
Yeah, same as usual. Not much has changed. You're looking full of life, as always.
All thanks to the support of our loyal customers, the family business just keeps getting better and better. We sold some fireworks to Liyue a while back, and word is they were a real hit. So it looks like we'll be getting more business from over there in the future.
That must mean a lot more work for you, though. Are you sure you and Mr. Ryunosuke can manage? If it gets too much, don't forget, you can always ask me for help,
We should be fine. I think we can cope. Oh, yeah. This is some pickled radish from Mrs. Imatani.
Oh, wow, thank you so much. I never used to be a fan of pickled radish, would you believe? But then I tried some of Mrs. Imatani's homemade stuff and I couldn't get enough of it. It's a family staple now.
Speaking of your family, how's everyone doing?
They're doing well. We have the occasional heated argument, but I guess that's every family ever. Being close to family is better than never getting to see them, even if it does mean putting up with some conflict. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Imatani seem to have a great relationship, But still, they must get lonely with their child never visiting.
Huh, they didn't seem that way to me. I think they're just used to it. You make a good point, though. I should drop by more often in the future. That way, they won't get so bored.
Oh, I'm sure they'd love that. As would all of us in Konda Village. You're always welcome here.
Thank you! Now that we finished all the chores, it's time to talk to the Imatanis about Sakujiro.